All right, we're going to talk Raritan Rocket football with Raritan head football coach, Coach Anthony Petruzzi, and Raritan star senior inside linebacker, Matt Agar. Guys, thanks for coming on the show today.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach, for having us.
We are going to get you in and out of here because you got a big week, big game this weekend. A lot to talk about, so let's just get right into it. You're currently 3-0, number 8 ranked team in the coach's top 20. You played 3 close games against Matawan, Monmouth, and Manasquan. And I was at the game last week where you won a thriller, 28-27 at their place, avenging the loss from last year where you lost in overtime there. Coaches, how great of a win was that for you and your program beating Manasquan with that 28-27 win? Matt?
I mean, I think everybody in the short conference would agree that when you go down to Manasquan, that's a tough place to win. It doesn't happen often. They defend their home field. It's a special place to play. So coming out with a victory was rewarding, especially in the manner that we had to do it in. So it wasn't a pretty game. Both teams fought hard. Both teams fought through injuries. But it's always great to go down there and get a win. I have a lot of respect for Coach Price and what they do down in Manasquan. So they're never gonna make it easy for you.
Right, Matt. Well, how was it for you and the players?
Yeah, I mean, no one on our team has played on Saturday. No one's played at their place, so it was pretty amazing to beat them at their place in OT like it was last year. So it's pretty special.
I would love being on the sidelines, watching both you guys playing. A lot of excitement, and when you guys won in overtime, what a moment, Coach. You're 3-0 for the first time since 2015, and Raritan football to me gets better as the season goes on. What separates this team from your teams in your past that you played in? And let me remind you, in 2015, you won the Central Jersey Group 2 state championship. But you always get your team better as the year goes on, and you're in such a hot start. What is the difference this year than the other years?
Coach, I have to smile with that because in 2015 we did start 3-0. We did win a state championship, but we also lost 5 straight games before going into the playoffs.
Wow.
So the message this year is to keep ourselves even keeled, to understand that every game is important, every practice is important, every snap is important. Championship players are always going to play at a high level no matter what the game is. We're not trying to make this game any bigger than it needs to be. We're concentrating on the next opponent. And what these guys have been able to do early on is just kind of keep within themselves. They have been, they're not riding the roller coaster, and it's a mature team. And that I think is the best part of it right now is that they don't get too high, they don't get too low. I think that's why second half so far this football season we've been able to make some adjustments because the guys are kind of tuned in to the fact that there's work to be done and there's things that they need to get better at.
Matt, would you agree how coaches like this all the time with me on the phone too? He always keeps everything, even keel. He does win, lose, whatever it is. That's why I got a lot of respect for him. Is this 3-0 start something that you guys foreseen, or it's, you guys are just keep playing week to week?
Yeah, like Coach said, we're just focused on next week and the week after that. And like he said, we're a mature group. We got good senior leadership, so I think we'll be fine throughout the season.
Coach, we talked in the preseason, and you loved this team. That's what you stated to me. You had a lot of key returning starters. Matt Agar was one of them. Kieran Falzon, a running back. Danny Calicari, slot safety. Tom Jelenowski, center D tackle. And Jack Coleman, DN, were guys. Then you said we're going to be as good as when other guys step up. We had a bunch of unknown players. I'm going to pick out one player that won me over in the game. Was your junior quarterback, Logan Goldsberry. Boy, oh boy, did he really step up in a big-time game with his reads and his pitches, making Falzone and Calicari look good. Would you agree with me that he really stepped up his game last week?
Yeah, the guys have a saying in the locker room. They're always asking. They're always saying, "Let Goldie cook." So he is the chef out there. He's the chef. He's making the decisions. He can spice it up. He's got to make the right decisions. Coach Damien has a lot of trust, puts a lot of trust in the quarterback position. They're coached hard. And Goldie is making the right decisions right now. His poise, his leadership, the game not becoming too big for him. These were all all impressive. They really were. But he trusts in his teammates. We had really outstanding offensive line play. We had guys that had step up in roles on the offensive line, and at our A back positions. Multiple guys coming in at wide receiver. So it's a credit to our offensive staff, our quarterback, and really just the guys to be on the same page.
Now, Matt, you're the quarterback of the defense.
Mm-hmm.
Nice interception, key part of the game. How important is it for you to know that the offense is in good hands too? Because you're taking care of the defense, having a young quarterback step up with a lot of key starters around him, where he elevated his play with you guys. How important was that? Did you notice that, or did you see that after the game on film?
Yeah, I notice it. I notice it after every game. I know he has to be the guy on offense, and before every game, I tell him to relax and have fun, and everything will be fine.
Yeah, you guys look. I mean, that key interception. That's always great when an inside linebacker picks a ball off and gets yardage and changes field position, changed the momentum a little bit in that game. Great job. Let's speed up to next week right now, where you're going to be playing in a big key Independence Division game. Number 5 ranked football team in the Shore, 3-0 Point Borough, playing the number 8 3-0 Raritan football team. Give me something about Point Borough that I might not know about that you saw on film, Matt.
Don't give him too much.
Not man. Too much.
Yeah. I just know that during practice, I can't think that their offense is like ours, because it's really not. It's a lot faster pace, and I have to see things a lot quicker and make plays.
Right, Coach. Now you have respect for all teams, and now you're kind of Point Borough team that won the South Jersey Group 2 state championship. Loads of guys back coming into your place. What are you expecting from a Point Borough team?
Again, coaches got those guys. They didn't lose a step. They didn't lose a step. They're right where they were last year, or even better. They're physical. They run to the football. They finish blocks. They're runners. Finish runs. So they have a downhill mentality on both sides of the ball. I like to think we have a downhill mentality as well. We thought we were on a collision course with them. Last year we both wound up losing to the same team. Mm-hmm. But I have. We've played them in playoff games. We played them for, in our division. It's another situation like a Manasquan, is where the games are always tight. The games are always close. It's going to come down for a couple key plays. Who wants it more? And we just have to make sure that we keep our composure. We make it a 4-quarter football game, and believe in ourselves and what we're capable of doing.
Awesome. Matt, there's a lot of respect from the other side too, throwing it your way. They're saying the same thing. Tough football team. You guys are a traditional team that wins all the time. Now, let's talk about the atmosphere. How is it, Matt, in the hallways this week? Is there something different, or is it always like this? And don't lie to me. You could tell me if there's a lot of noise in the hallway. The crowds, your fan group.
Yeah, I know. Coming from my friends, it's definitely a different kind of buzz around the school. Talking, undefeateds, but we're not really worried about that. That's for them to worry about. We're just worried about, making big plays and getting a win.
Well, that's what you play for. You play for it to be relevant during the season, play in big games. Coach Petruz, you've been involved in a lot of big games as an assistant and a head football coach, and this is where you want to be, Coach. Right? You don't shy away from playing good teams, and you're playing a good one this week.
No, I think that's what's special about Raritan football. Whether our division has been, like you say, every time we come on, like, Coach, you got a tough division. We don't want it any other way. Week in and week out, we tell the guys it's like playing the SEC. You have to have your A game. You have to make sure that you have all the boxes checked. And you have to have a great week of practice in order to cash that paycheck, on a Friday night. So, Point Borough is definitely a challenge. They're a good football team. I think they're, a top team, not only in the Shore Conference, but in the state. They've proved it so far early on in the season. And, we have to prepare like it's just any other game. We have to get better tomorrow. We got to get better on Thursday, so we can play our best on Friday. And I'm glad that the fans are getting excited. I'm glad that the parents are getting excited. I'm glad that you're getting excited because it's important to play and have that extra, buzz around, because that's what you do it for. I mean, football is an emotional game, and you want that 12th man in the stands and in the hallways at the home games. And so we're excited to have the opportunity. I tell the guys, when you work hard and you put yourself in that position, you're going to give yourselves opportunities of playing these type of games. And we've been fortunate enough in the last couple of years to do that. This is just another one.
Matt, looking into the crystal ball, I foresee you guys playing in a lot of big games this year, not just this week here. Guys, I want to thank you guys for coming on the show. I'm keeping my word. If we're over 12 minutes, it's not because of me. You guys deserve the very best this week, and I appreciate you coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Coach.
All right.
Thank you.
Good luck this week, guys.